Hi everyone, this is Kelly and I am just here totally randomly, meaning not scheduled, as I seem to be doing lives of late, which is to do completely random pop-ups for whatever reason floats the boat. But today I actually do have a very specific reason, and as the title of the video asks, to see whether anybody just needs a hug. I have been over the last couple days watching, I stumbled, as we do on YouTube. We take these YouTube rabbit trails, right? We go to look for something and then we see something over here in the bar and we, slide over into the this stream of threads of videos that we start to watch. And I started to watch this series, and I'll try to remember to put a link to the series that I was watching, but it's a series of interviews by people who are not in the best of positions, people who are on the streets, people who are have gone through a lot of terrible things in their lives, and it's just these raw interviews with people. And one of the things that, if you watch too many of those types of things in a row, you're left with a lot of feelings. And one of the two feelings that I've been left with over the last couple of days is how incredibly strong people are, how incredibly strong people are to go through the experiences that they go through. And no matter how broken by, society standards they may be, they're incredibly strong just to be going and living and smiling at times and laughing at times. And they're incredibly strong. People are incredibly strong. The human spirit is incredibly strong. But then the second, if you're going to think about those types of things, the second feeling is that how fragile we are, how fragile and susceptible we are to things that are completely outside of our control, and that we have to then pick up the pieces of these experiences that have such huge impacts on who we are. And we have to find a way to move forward. And it's just so incredibly beautiful and so incredibly sad at the same time. And I know, we've all been through things. I've been through loss, and I understand that light and fluff and mush doesn't take care of the underlying problems and doesn't address the big issues and tackle the hard things. But I do believe that sometimes we just need a hug, right? Sometimes it's okay just to say, hey, I'm here and I could use a hug. And so that is the only reason that I'm here on here for a little while. I've got two of my favorite hug decks. One of them is what is this called? The Magical Empowerment. I don't have the box, but it's an empowerment deck with the artwork by Jody Bergsma, and the other one that I have is Jody Bergsma's art, which is an animal, Spirit of the Animal deck. And so, yes, thank you, Miss Terry. If people have hugs to give to each other, give them. This is just a hug fest. We're literally going to just have a hug fest. We're just here to support. And please have patience, because I am just kind of doing this randomly, and so I may miss hugs. And if I do, feel free to ask again. But I am just going to pull some hugs here. And if I think offer each other your hugs and your support as well. That's all we're doing today. We're acknowledging that life is sometimes hard and that sometimes we could just use a hug. So Connor, I am going to pull a card for you just to give you a hug. We're not going deep here. We're not, trying to fix problems here tonight. We're not trying to do anything but just to say, I'm a human, you're a human. And while I can't literally come and give you a hug right now, I can pull a card for you and give you a word of encouragement. So I am just going to be pulling a card here for Connor, who could use a hug. I'm gonna move some stuff out of the way here and find a hug for Connor. Here we have the partnership. And this is the card that does speak about growing with others. And that's hard because, you know, we don't always have the support that we need to be able to do that. But right here, right now, Connor, I'm your partner. I'm here just for this teeny tiny moment to say that you're not alone. There are people in this chat that I know will light candles and that will send light and will send energy out. And so your message, Connor, is that you aren't alone in this moment. Maybe across hundreds and hundreds of miles, there are people here that are willing to support you, that are willing to send a hug across the miles. And while I understand that does not fix everything, I hope that in this tiny moment, that just understanding that you're not alone is going to be helpful for you. So thank you for letting me pull you a hug. Because when we give hugs, we both get a hug, right? So we both get something out of it. So yes, so thank you. And I can't see all the chats coming in because I'm kind of trying to have to do this in a way in which I'm just kind of scrolling forward to the next one. So I'll try to catch up and see what's being said more currently, but have some grace for each other and for me as I just kind of manage this in a way that wasn't planned, and you know, maybe a little bit messy as I try to give people hugs, but here we go. This is for Essence 818. Getting a hug from me to you. And apparently with some Jody Bergsma. I didn't realize when I grabbed both decks that they were both the artwork by Jody Bergsma, but apparently we're going to use her to get some artistic hugs as well. So let's see what's here for Essence 818. Here we have the pilgrimage card. This is a card that is a reminder of the journey that we're on, that we're all on a path, that we're all, I should probably zoom this in, shouldn't I? I'm sorry. Let's try that. I don't know. Hopefully that's not blurry. There we go. The pilgrimage card is a reminder that we are on a journey, that sometimes we can feel like we're in a really hard space in the moment, right? And it's so hard. We've all been there. We've all done that. When we're in these moments, it's like we're stuck in a bubble, and it's very difficult to see down the road. It's very difficult to understand. This is just a piece of the journey, right? That you're on a bigger journey and that this is a piece of your story. And even if it might be overwhelming, even if it might be a difficult piece of the journey, when it spreads all out together, I have every confidence that this is just a piece. Maybe an important piece, it may be a difficult piece, but you're still moving forward and you're still going forward on this journey, and it's all going to come together to make the story of who you are. Essence 818. So hopefully that reminder helps. And again, while I can't wrap my arms around you and give you a big old squeeze, hopefully energetically you can tell that that is exactly what I'm here for you today. So, oh, and it just snapped us down. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you for people who are giving out hugs. I appreciate it. This is all, and I know, and again, I understand that the community at large does suffer from a problem of over positivity. And I do think that toxic positivity is an issue, right? But the purpose of right here, right now isn't about that. The purpose of right here and right now is to understand that sometimes we just need a hug. Sometimes we just need to acknowledge the fragility and the strength in each other, and just, you know, reach out and give that hug. And that's all that this is about. It's not about solving the world's problems. It's not about solving even your problems. It's just about saying that I see you, and I'm here to give you a hug tonight. That's all it's about. And I know there's a lot of wonderful people here that are able to do that for each other as well. So I'm scrolling back up. Sorry. Again, if I'm going to have even a shot at trying to get hugs for people, I'm going to have to kind of be scroll back where I'm not seeing all of the chats at large. Okay, so I'm scrolling. Everybody's giving lots of hugs. Terry got a puppy. Oh, that's a perfect hug. Okay, Sunny, Sunny Dee, I am throwing a hug out to you because it looks like Sunny Dee could use a hug as well. We'll do a couple group hugs as well. I'll pull some cards for everybody, but for the moment, I'm just pulling some hugs. Let me turn off my phone so it's not interrupting our hugs. But this hug is for Sunny Dee. And see what we get. I got some other decks that I might pull out as well, but I got these two were the ones that sort of I reached for right away. So let's see here. Oops, oh, now I gotta find the lens. Sorry. I love this card. This is a card with kindness, just sending kindness and sending compassion. True compassion goes a long way. I do believe in magic. I do I do believe in kindness. I do believe that, again, it's not going to frost up and cover everything, but I do think that kindness goes a long way. Compassion goes a long way. So, Sunny, whatever it is that's going on in your life that you might just need a spark of kindness, I hope that this little tiny moment just can give you a little bit of compassion for whatever it is that you're going through, whether it's just a bad day or something bigger than that. Just like if we're just all just a little bit kinder, I think it can be helpful. And so I hope that this little spark, and I know other people are going to be sending some kindness your way as well, and I hope that that helps in the midst of this world that we live in, Sunny. Shield Maidens Witches Tarot, I love your name, would also love a big spiritual hug. You know, let's grab another deck out because I like to play with decks. And I feel like for Shield Maiden Witches Tarot, I'm going to pull out, this is one of my favorite Oracle decks as well. This is a card of, or called Spirit Cards Oracle. So we are going to pull a spiritual hug for Shield Maidens Witches Tarot and see what comes up here. We're just going to mix them up, pull what we need to pull and see what comes up. And again, understanding that we're not fixing anything here. I wish I had a magic wand to wave and fix all of the difficulties that everybody is facing, but I don't. But what I do have is hugs. I do have cards that I can pull and hugs and love that I can give out in this moment. And so for Shield Maidens, I love this card. Oh, I'm so sorry. Here we go. Here is Emerge. I love this deck for the visual expression of just you can just literally see this rising up energy and this kind of coming up and out of the dark kind of feeling here with this emerging. There is a breakthrough coming, that whatever's going on in your life that you could just like to catch a breath from, that's coming. To just take a breath, put your head up, you're going to float, you're going to rise to the top, and you're going to be able to catch your breath, and you're going to be able to rise above that. And that is your hug for this little moment, Shield Maidens Witches Tarot. Lots of hug here. Amy needs a hug. Okay, Amy, let's do an animal hug. You get an animal hug today. And I'll try to switch down to where I can see what's currently being said. But I'm trying to catch some of these on the upper side of the chat. That way I don't miss hugs. So I am sending this animal hug to Amy. Amy needs a hug and is also sending a hug. And that's the best kind of a hug fest, right? When we get to get hugs and give hugs, because we're always better for being able to have the opportunity to send a little bit of love and kindness out to people. We grow from that. I truly do believe that. So let's pull an animal hug for Amy. Ooh, here we have a powerful animal hug here with Hawk. I'm going to try to put it down because when I talk, I start waving it around. This is a message of focus, and it's a message of clarity here, right? This is that message that take this hug in, but as you rise up on the backs of a lot of people sending you good energy, that there is an opportunity to gain a little bit of clarity. Hopefully we can all gain a little bit of clarity about this. This is just a need that sometimes to just stop for a minute and breathe. And even if you're in your like day-to-day life and you can't necessarily, you don't have somebody you can turn around and say, you know what, I could take a hug. I'd like a hug, right? Maybe you don't have that right next to you. That sometimes if we type stop and take a breath, like we're just go, 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 go. We're just trying to keep our feet under us sometimes, even when we feel like we're shattering. And the hawk says, stop, get up above it all to that, just that clarity of the air, that calm, that quiet that comes. Give yourself that space, because that's going to give yourself a hug in those moments when you most need it, Miss Amy. So that is a hug for Miss Amy and anybody who wants to jump in on Amy's hug. Let's see, I'm scrolling through here, and people are sending hugs. I love it. Jessica says, giving hugs to all, especially to all experiencing bad weather. It is a mess out there. It's a mess out where I am. Streets completely covered. We're supposed to get about 12 inches by tomorrow night. So yes, everybody stay warm. So everybody stay safe for sure. Oh, it just popped down to the bottom. I'm going to scroll back up to not miss hugs, people who would like a hug. Van Mar says, I read the other day, the circle of our people around us weave invisible nets of love that carry us when we are weak and sing with us when we are strong. Love that. Thank you for sharing that. That is lovely. Okay, scrolling back up here. Let me and at some point, I'll be just like, if I haven't given you a hug and you want it, let's start that over again so that we don't. Raven Song says, my hair is so long. I know. Thank you. It has definitely grown. Thank you. Okay. I think what I will do is do exactly what I said. So if you are on here and you would like a hug from me, oh, here's Lucy. Lucy, I see you. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. That's what's coming into my brain. Lucy, you're going to get a hug from the empowerment deck, an empowering hug. It's my favorite hug deck of all time because it does empower you as well as hug. So this is for Lucy. But if you are on and you would like a random hug from me to you, put your name in the bottom. Even if you've already done it, just going to help me to try not to try to find them. So patience is requested. We can't have hugs without patience too, right? So this is a hug for Lucy. Something that Lucy might just need to hear. Here we go. Oh, see, mercy. I mean, hello, right? Again, this is about compassion, but it is that understanding that what we give is what we receive. And so I love this idea that a mercy is a powerful word. And I know that things like love and compassion and kindness and mercy, these types of words start to almost have lost their power because we do see them in a lot of decks and a lot of images and a lot of memes, and it starts to feel a little bit like they're just words and there's nothing behind it. And I can completely understand that feeling, but these are powerful words and it can change somebody's day to stop and have a little bit of mercy. Somebody's being a little bit crabby. Maybe they have a reason for being crabby. Maybe they are having an absolutely terrible day that you aren't aware of. And so giving people those little mercies and those little bouts of compassion and those little understandings, human to human being, that we are all human and that we are all in different places at different times and can offer that is a big deal. So we're offering compassion to Lucy, a little bit of mercy, a little bit of compassion, and understanding that Lucy's a merciful, compassionate person herself, and when she puts that out, she gets a hug back from me. And so we know that this is just what Lucy's getting back for having mercy her own self, which is beautiful to see. I love it. That's for Miss How do we get a hug? Just tell me. I'm just gonna get. You're getting a hug right now, Lady D. I'm just again. I'm not caught up. I cannot see the chat. So I'm gonna give Lady D this hug. So I cannot see what's being chatted right now. So everybody have patience here as I work my way through and just grab what I see. The way you get a hug is I'm just gonna pull a card and give you a hug, Lady D, because today is a day that you need a hug. So let's see, this is again spirit cards. Let's see what kind of hug Lady D gets from spirit. I love this dream card. So this dream is this idea of a really, I love the crown here. I love the way that this is going up. We all have dreams. This goes with, you know, sort of these, what, you know, brought this whole video about is just watching these series of interviews with people, and everybody has dreams for themselves. Lady D has dreams for herself. We all have these dreams, and we all get derailed at certain points, right? For things that are completely outside of our control. And so our dreams have to shift. Our dreams have to kind of accommodate. We have to learn. We have to shift. We have to accommodate our way forward. And it's not always easy. And so, Miss Lady, if you have a dream, that dream is still alive, right? Even in the dark moments when you don't feel like it's there, maybe this is that message to close your eyes and sort of reorient on your dream. The things that happen to derail our dreams, maybe it just means our dreams have to shift in a new direction, but it doesn't kill our dreams. It just means that human spirit that I know Lady has, the little that I do know of Lady, has that strength, that resiliency, steps into the light again, out of the shadows, and reaches for those dreams. And so I hope that you do keep reaching for your dreams, Lady. So here we go. Emery's also would like a hug. She just wanted a little energy hug, or he, I'm sorry, I gotta watch the pronoun. They just wanted a little energy hug. Yes, that you get an energy hug and a get a card hug. So here we have a hug for Emery's from Animal Hug, because who doesn't want an animal hug? Again, please don't approach live animals for hugs in the wild, because it's not going to go well. But here on this channel, right this moment today, it's a hug for me to you that is safe with animals. So let's pull a hug for Emily's and see what we get. I love penguin, right? Penguin is such a powerful energy here. Oh, I'm going to start shoving decks off the table. Here we go. I love penguin energy, and especially this particular one, because this has this idea about being authentic, being true to who you are, and gathering that strength around you. This understanding that who you are, Emery's, is powerful. Your truth is important and should be supported, and I know that it always isn't, that it isn't always supported, that we don't always feel as if we can be authentically who we are and supported in that in every way, but that is supported here and now. So it's a little energetic hug, but also that message that who you are counts and who you are matters. And I am glad to spend this little snippet of a moment with you and seeing you energetically and sending a hug your way. So thank you for sharing that with us, or with me, allowing me to share that with you. I see Evelyn. Evelyn has had an unreasonably distressing day and needs a hug. She didn't say she needed a hug, but she's getting a hug. I figured if you shared that, that means you want a hug. No, I don't want to force hugs on anybody, but I feel as if that was a yes, I would like a hug. So let's give this a little bit of a shake. Again, I can't see the up-to-date comments. I'll scroll down there in a second just to make sure everything's going okay. But let's pull a hug for Evelyn. Here we go. Here we have that sacred space. This is about, you know, this, we've had a couple things leaning towards dream, because this is about creating the space for yourself where you can take a breath, where you can find your dreams again, where you can sort of de-stress and step away. And that's not always easy to do in life, right? To create a little space for ourselves, to step away for a minute, to breathe, to recenter. And so I don't see this as saying, okay, you need to go create a sacred space room that is your room that you can go in and you can feel amazing in, right? Because it's not always possible. But if you create a space for yourself, and creating a space for yourself can be just saying, you know what, I'm going to step away to the bathroom for a minute, putting some headphones on, listening to some music that inspires you, lifts you up, makes you feel like you can shake some things off, energetically off for a minute. Just taking the space for yourself when you need it. And so, Evelyn, you might need to just step back, even if it's just, if you can grab, if you can steal, if you can wrangle 5 minutes for yourself. You are worth 5 minutes of stepping away and breathing for a minute, and feeling like letting some of that go. And I hope maybe this 5 minutes with us, I know again that people that are in the chat are also willing and ready to throw that good energy at your distressing day. And I hope that if nothing else, for 5 minutes here and now, you get a little bit of a breather from the day that you are having. Okay, I'm going to slide down to the beginning here, and just make sure everything's good. Hello to everybody that may be popping in. We're here just to give some hugs. We're just here to give some hugs. So if you want a hug, put it in there. Thank you for the hugs going back out to me. And also thank you for the hugs going out to each other, because that's the point of this. Life is tough. Life is difficult, right? It's a rough life out there sometimes. It's a wonderful and a glorious life as well, but it's rough. And sometimes, knowing that it's not going to fix all the problems, sometimes we just need a hug, right? And that is okay. Okay, I'm going to slide back out, slide back up here. Again, if I miss a hug from you, or a request from a hug, I will have you repeat it again in a minute, but I see some, so I'm going to grab these as I can. Let's see, I just saw some. Yes, here's Jay. Oh, Annie here. I'll get to Annie, then Jada. I see Annie could use a hug, so let's give Annie a hug. And again, if people are in the chat and can give each other hugs, great. I understand. I understand that this whole thing can feel or seem to be a little bit cheesy, right? And I understand, but I don't care. I truly don't care. I do think that we need some kindness, and we need hugs now and again, and that there is nothing wrong with saying, this is going on and I just need a hug, or that nothing's going on and I just feel lonely and I need a hug, or, you know, life has been a little bit tough. I'm doing good, but boy, I could use a hug. There is nothing wrong with that. And for right now, I'm just here to offer those hugs, and that's all I can do. I can't fix the world, but I can give you a hug, and you guys can give each other hugs, and you can light candles for each other, and we can support each other, and that's important. That's important. So Miss Annie, here's a hug for you. Here's a hug. Metamorphosis. Trust the process. You know, the metamorphosis card is kind of a difficult one because it does require patience, right? It is the understanding that right now, whatever's going on in your life, you're in the midst of change. You're in the midst of changing, and change can be difficult, but in the end, it's worth it. So whatever it is that you might be going through, understand it's just part of the shift. It's part of the change. Change is never going to be easy. Even if it's everything that we ever wanted, it's still can be difficult, and that's okay. You're on your way to becoming something new, and you, as always, have the ability to continue to write that story in the way that you want. Even in the midst of the change, you can shift and you can tweak that by your own choices. So it's all working for a good thing, Annie, and here's a hug from me to you. Miss Jada would also like a hug. And I know I'm going quick, but I want to get as many hugs out there as I can. I just want to get, you know, spend an hour, do some hugs for people. get some hugs from, I've gotten a whole bunch of hugs. So I'm like, okay, I'm loaded. So I appreciate the loads of hugs that I'm getting, but let's just share a little bit of kindness in the snow. Well, it's snow where I'm at, maybe hot where somebody else is at, maybe night, it may be day, but we can give a little bit here. This is for Miss Jada from Spirit Cards. Oh, it's the dream card again. Apparently dreams are alive today, and I love to see that. And again, if you weren't here at the beginning, I've been watching these just, really difficult interviews with people that are, it's not pretty, it's messy, and it is ugly, and the circumstances of people's lives are ugly and horrific. They express some of the absolute worst of what human beings can do to each other, but it also expresses the absolute strength and beauty of the human spirit to continue to move forward, to continue to try, to continue to want to connect to other human beings after terrible things that have happened. And it has just left me with so much feels of just understanding how difficult and how heavy it is to be a human being, but also how amazing that it is to be a human being. And so it just to see this dream card keep coming up is really hits the feels, Miss Jada, because it's hard to keep our dreams alive sometimes. I think that it's very difficult. I think we all go through time in which our dreams just keep getting killed off, or life just keeps slamming on our dreams. But with this card coming up, especially more than once, and other cards that speak of dreams, for you, Miss Jada, keep dreaming, keep reaching for those dreams. Again, sometimes they get derailed. Sometimes you're going to have to adjust those things, but keep dreaming. Don't let life steal your dreams, Miss Jada. And that is a hug from me to you. Let's see, I got Lady D, I got Annie. Shadow's Truth needs a hug. Let's get a hug for Shadow's Truth. I'm just kind of whipping around between these three decks again. I can't see the current chat because otherwise, and then all of a sudden it like shoves it. So I'm like trying to get in the ones that I can see, but I can't see the current chat, just because I want to be able to get as many hugs in as I can. So I apologize that I can't keep up with the current chats, but I have every confidence that it is people giving and sharing out support and kindness for each other, because that's just what we're doing right now. That is just what we are doing. This is for Shadow's Truth. Oh, flip. Well, here you go. Here be dragons, Shadows. So this is a powerful one. I love dragons. This is a reminder that sometimes our allies, sometimes the strengths, the support that we have aren't necessarily ones that you can see. So while you may not feel like you're supported by literal people around you, or you may, but this card reminds you that there are things that you don't see that are there. For me, dragons are associated with my ancestors. Yes, I do believe I was descended from dragons. But no, in my charm casting set, dragons are for my ancestors. We often have support systems. If you believe in the deity, then it may be that divine deity. You may believe in guardian energy. I 100% believe in guardian energy. If you work with ancestors or not, they're still there. There is a lot around you, Shadow's Truth, that is there to support you. And right here and right now, I'm here to support you, and I'm sure some other people here are going to send you some support as well. So that's the card for Shadow's Truth. The next one I see is Angelic Michelle. I love your name. I love to have an angelic present here. I'm going to take a quick drink. Let's pull an animal hug. Again, do not go out and hug raccoons or bears or any other creatures in the wild. But Angelic Michelle, right now, I will safely give you a hug from the animal realms. I don't know about you guys, but I feel a lot of hugs and supports here, and I'm loving it. I think it is just what was needed today at whatever time. I don't even know what time it is. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just getting on and giving hugs. I don't care. Somebody out there needs a hug, and I'm gonna step up there and give it to them. So I have no clue. Whatever time it is today is hug time, and this hug is for Angelic Michelle. And here we have Coyote. I love this. Coyote is understanding of truth. And sometimes, let's be honest, Coyote energy isn't always easy energy either, right? It's a trickstery kind of energy. We get tripped up a little bit. We get kind of confused what way we're going. But in the end, we end up learning lessons, right? There are lessons for you to learn right now in life. And again, it may not be the easiest of lessons. You may feel like, did I fall down a rabbit hole in some way here? But there is a lesson to be learned here. There are truths for you to find. Again, if you kind of pause, breathe for a minute, and really see that there are truths there that are going to help you find your way. Important truths for you that are ahead if you just kind of recenter, understand that finding truth and finding our way forward isn't always easy, and it can feel like more of a trip up than anything. We can feel like we're just messing things up or we're just tripping things up, and in the end we end up with Coyote always having learned a lesson. So I hope that you can find the lesson and see the truth that you need to, but if nothing else, get a hug from me for that. I am going to now give a hug to Neighborhood Arts. I am so happy to give you a hug. Lovely to see you. And again, I'm so sorry. I can't see whatever's chatting right now, because I've got a cluster of hug requests right here. So I don't want to scroll and lose those. So once I kind of reach a point of chat, I'll scroll down a little bit just to make sure everything is going okay. But let's all send each other some good energy, some support. So just for a minute, let's just not feel like we're alone and that we do see each other across a lot of miles and a lot of snow. You cannot see my roads right now. Stay safe, people. Stay safe. There's a huge storm in the U.S. and lots of places are icy and snowy. Everybody hunker down and stay warm and stay safe. And let's get a hug for Neighborhood Arts. Here we have partnership. We've gotten a couple, like the unity one, the partnership one. Seems like dreams and partnerships and connections are showing up right now, which makes sense because that's the whole purpose that we're here right now, right? Understanding that you do have a support system. And sometimes the partnership card also shows up when we need to know when we need to ask for help or to allow people to help us. Sometimes it's really easy we want to be independent. We're capable of doing the things that we need to do on our own, but that it doesn't mean that we have to. That sometimes it's okay to say, I would like a hug, and I am happy to give that hug. And that sometimes, even though we're capable of doing things our own, maybe remember to take that support when people are around that can offer, or even to have that voice to ask for it when you need it, because you are deserving of getting that help. And again, even if this is just that little bit of that connection, and that I'm happy to be that for you in this moment. I've got one more here in this little chunk from Lithium Snow, and then I'm going to scroll down and just make sure everything's going okay at the bottom. I feel like it's probably getting ready to flick. It seems to go so long when you have it paused, and then it scrolls to the bottom, and I have to scroll back up. So I appreciate everybody's patience. But this is a hug for Lithium Snow, who is also offering me a hug. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I definitely could use them today, and I'm glad to see. I'm not glad. Yeah, I am. I'm glad to see that other people need hugs as well. Otherwise, we would be wasting our time. Ooh, tiger. Again, don't go hugging tigers, Lithium Snow, randomly. But tiger really steps forward, and it's that kind of hug that's like that. almost like a bear hug, that hug that says, whoomph, you know, you feel that. It's in the hug of a tiger, you gain the willpower, you gain some power. And so understanding that when we give hugs, we don't lose power. When we accept hugs from people, we don't lose power, folks. We can gain power from giving kindness away, and from receiving it, from being open to receiving it. And so Lithium Snow, I hope you feel an extra dose of not just a hug, support, and a little bit of kindness, but also maybe a dose of willpower to sort of firm up your shoulders and firm up your back and let you step forward into whatever you're dealing with life with a little bit extra energy behind that. That's a strong hug. Okay, I'm going to scroll down here and then I'll scroll back up. Okay, let's see. I am going to, oh, I'm so sorry that you had a panic attack today, Angelic Michelle. That is very difficult. They're difficult, and yes, go take, naps are wonderful. Naps are hugs we give ourselves, right? I do believe that is the case. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up here. And because I see some more, but I feel like it helps to reset, to reset the, of course, then I'll have a hard time finding way back up. But let me see if I can find where I was. Gabs, Gable, I'm gonna pull back up. I see you. Oh, here we go. I'm close here. Okay, I'm where I was at. If I miss you, Spitfire needs an anger reducer. Okay, Spitfire, let's give you, I don't know if I can reduce your anger, but I can give you a hug. So let's go there. And then I see Veronica Budd and I see Gabs Gable, and I see another Evelyn. I think this is a different Evelyn. If not, Evelyn's going to end up needing 2 hugs, apparently. So, but right this moment, we're going to try to see if we can find an anger reducer for Spitfire, because maybe a hug is an anger reducer. Of course, there's many occasions for righteous anger, but sometimes even in the midst of righteous anger, we can have a little bit of a pause and a breather and take a little bit of a sanctuary. Sometimes, apparently what you need, Spitfire, is to step away, right? Because with the need for solitude, that sometimes the only way to reduce our anger, especially when it is human being related, is to step back and away from the human beings that may be influencing said anger. But, you know, as I said in another card that was similar, that sometimes we have to find those moments, even if it's just a couple minutes, even if it's in the bathroom, even if it's just, you know what, I'm going to step out the back door, even in the middle of a snowstorm, and just take a moment. Understanding when we need to take those moments and step back, and that we're worth stepping back and having those moments for ourselves is very important. So hopefully that helps. If not, you know, I'm just sending you a hug through the anger, Spitfire. Veronica needs a hug as well, and so I am going to give a hug to Veronica. And again, anybody else wants to hop in and give away some of your well-deserved or well worked for hugs and hug energy or good energy to these people asking for hugs, go for it. Throw your energy in there with mine, and just support each other for a little bit. That's all I'm asking. That's all. I'm not asking to solve everybody's problems, but I just want to give, look at this partnership card for Miss Veronica. Learn to grow with others, overcome obstacles by working together, touch each other's hearts while life lasts. I hope that's what we do for you today, Miss Veronica. If I can just for a minute touch your life for a second and take the time to do that, and if that can help, again, I know it's a flicker in the time of life, but Right now, maybe what you need, Veronica, is that just feeling like somebody's reaching through the screen and saying, I see you, I'm here for you, and I'm offering you a hug. And I really hope that you get a breather from whatever life is throwing your way, and that this gives you at least a little bit of a smile, a little bit of a moment of peace. And thank you for allowing me to do so. We have Gabs Gable, who is just putting it out there, hoping I will pick it up, but could really do with a hug. I'm shuffling backward. Oh, I'm shuffling badly, folks. Badly, folks. There we go. If you're just coming on, we're just here for hugs. Nothing else. Nothing else. Understanding that hugs do not save the world, but you know what? Hugs can help. Hugs can help sometimes, and today we're just offering up some hugs. Just understanding that life is difficult sometimes, and sometimes it's not. We still need a hug. Sometimes we just need to feel connected for a minute. Sometimes we just need to have somebody say hello and offer us a bit of kindness, and that can be enough to really change things. I've had this happen to me before, and let's do that for Gabs Gable. Flexibility. This is the idea of movement and flow, and understanding that life is always shifting and changing. Life comes at us in a lot of different ways, and this was probably one of my biggest lessons in life when I was really struggling at my absolute worst. This is when I read the book, The Tao of Pooh, and the one thing that I gained out of that book was that understanding of just needing to learn to move with it, to just flow with it. I couldn't always figure out the why of things. I couldn't always change things. In fact, in those moments, I couldn't change anything. And so I just had to just relax the shoulders, relax the body, and move with the flow, and just move with it and flow with it. That the stiff resistance was giving me nothing but body ache. So Gable, this is just a message to just loosen the shoulders, relax into life for a minute. Just flow with it for a moment until you find that space where you can then step back up and keep moving in the direction that you need to go. And this is, the next one is for Evelyn. Evelyn with an M. I believe this is a different Evelyn than before. Let's grab, I might grab another deck just to keep things moving, but for right now I've got the spirit cards, which I like, so we'll just grab this one for Miss Evelyn. Shield Maidens, which says a hug right back to you, thank you, and is sending out an army of good angels, thank you. I think the world needs an army of good angels, and so yeah, if we can send out the angels, send out the ancestors, send out whoever it is, the guardians, the animal spirits, whoever energetically you're working with, let's just send them out and say, just grab a random person and give them an extra dose of energy, of feeling like they can get through in that moment when you just feel like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. We've all had these moments, right? Every single person, I believe, has had a moment in which you feel like you simply cannot do it anymore. And there are, I know in the world right now, there's so many people out there, there are people out there having that moment. And, you know, I am happy to send out my ancestors and say, please go find somebody like that and give them a boost. Give them a boost of energy, because we need it. We all need it sometimes. All right, let's see. This is for Evelyn. Oh, bear. There's my bear energy. Bear. I am lending. You see, I am willing to lend Evelyn my bear. And my bear is she's a little bossy. She will push you on the right path. So I do apologize if you start to have bossy bear dreams, because that will be my fault. But bear is really about pushing me in the right direction. Definitely boundary making. Definitely those lessons to live within the flow of life, knowing when is the time to gather in energy and eat, knowing when it is time to stop and to rest and to hibernate, when is the time to wake up again. It's moving with the clock of the world and understanding there are big cycles out there that we can't push against, so we've got to learn to live within those. But she's pretty much just really bossy and is going to push you away from, for me, she pushes me away from the path that I don't need to keep going down. When I'm just hurting myself by going over and over the same things, she pushes me away from that path and says, give yourself some grace. So I believe that my bear energy is telling to you, Evelyn, to have some grace for yourself, and giving you a bear hug. So there is a bear hug for Evelyn. Okay, I'm scrolling down here. Miss Lady is not living your dream, but your dream's still there. You may have to just adjust it. I know this is long past that conversation, but it's there. It's there. It may be different, but it's there, and you can find it again. Two Rocks, I'm still feeling all of your hugs and well wishes, so please take our, yes, please, thank you. Sylvie says, I'm from Italy and I started watching your videos because it helps you to relax. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you for your work. And sending big energy hugs for everyone. Thank you so much, Sylvie. I appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Lady D. Okay, I'm scrolling. Timothy needs a hug for Timothy. We're gonna give Timothy an animal hug because I'm all for the animal hugs here for Timothy. Again, if you're coming in, I'm not caught up on chat, so I can't see current chats because I am scouring the chats for the people who want hugs and just giving hugs out. And right now, we're looking for an animal hug. We need to, let's, this energy is sparkling everywhere. So let's give this a nice good riffle and find a hug for Timothy. Hug for Timothy. Puffin, partnership. I feel like, do we have like, how many partnership cards? Apparently partnership cards are strong again today, but this is an interesting one because this one really is about you accepting who you are, and that when you are comfortable with who you are, that gives people sort of the permission to accept who you are as well. Now, will there be people who simply won't accept who you are? Of course, unfortunately, that is the case in life. But we're saying that we can see you, Timothy, and that you should be proud of who you are and how you've gotten to where you are today. And that as you accept that and as you step into that acceptance of self, that other people, you'll find the people who can see that truth in yourself as well and be there to support you and be part of your support system and part of your life moving forward. But it always has to come inside first, doesn't it? We have to figure that stuff out for ourselves, but not tonight. Tonight, even if we're not particularly feeling great about ourselves, we are still giving hugs out. So that is for you, Timothy. Anna says that there is a hug needed here. So, okay, we are going to give a hug to Anna Hidelt. I'm sure I'm not saying that correctly, but Anna H. This is a hug for you that is needed, apparently. We all need hugs. I feel hugs. I hope everybody does feel like a good hug. So let's keep hugging. Hugging. Let's keep hugging here. This is for Anna. Humor. We need a little bit of humor, Anna. Sometimes laugh at yourself, lighten your heart, and let nothing steal your happiness. I do believe that laughter is such an important thing, just as much as kindness and all the things that we've been talking about. Sometimes life is so ridiculous, Anna. Like sometimes that life is so ridiculous that all you can do is laugh. That's like literally all you can do. And it doesn't mean, sometimes people, find that my family does have a little bit of a dark humor. We do deal with things in humorous ways. We will be the ones cracking jokes at funerals, our own funerals and our own spaces, not at other people's. But that is the way that we do manage things. And sometimes life is so ridiculous, you just have to laugh. And so seeing those places can be helpful. It doesn't mean that you aren't going to get back to doing whatever needs to be doing, but finding a space for yourself, Anna, that you can just laugh a little bit at a situation that may be going on might be just what you needed. And if nothing else, maybe just what you needed was a hug. And that's what we're giving you tonight. So there you go. Bunny Kisses definitely needs help. She's trying to set up a computer and her existing monitor won't connect and she is frustrated. Tech can be extremely frustrating. And so we're going to give Bunny Kisses a hug just so that she can step out of the frustration. Step and walk, step away, step away, step away, right? That is the key to everything. Well, two keys to working with computers. Restart. Just turn everything off, unplug everything. That gives you a second to walk away and breathe. It gives the computer a second to walk away and breathe, and then turn it back on. And that's something between the ability to step away for you and the ability for the computer to go through that step away process somehow many times magically helps things. So there's my advice to you without pulling a card, Bunny Kiss. I'm still going to pull a card, an animal hug, but my advice is to step away for 5 or 10 minutes and step back in a minute. So you don't kill off. Oh, here's the puffin again. Accept yourself. Computer struggles as well. You guys are seeing me shuffle these partnership cards. Both in this deck, there's a partnership card, and in this deck, it seems like there's two that are kind of connective type cards, plus the unity card. So I feel like that asking for help. So is there somebody, Bunny Kisses, that knows about these things that you can ask for help? We have computer techie people. I don't currently have a Mac to kind of walk through that, but we do have some computer techie people. Maybe reach out and see if anybody on here can give some suggestions to poor Bunny Kisses to connect a monitor to a Mac and help out. But don't be understand yourself and what you have to offer, and understand when to ask for help. And maybe this is a sign to first just restart, breathe for a second, and then maybe talk to somebody who knows better. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope it gets sorted out. It can be very frustrating. Hello, Kathy. I see Brienne sending hugs out. I appreciate it. Fairy Wren is sending hugs to me. Thank you, Fairy Wren. I can use it. I see Sue is sending out hugs. Thank you, Westar. I agree. Kindness is never cheesy. I agree. A hug for overwhelm, says Sue. We are happy to give a hug for overwhelm. I'm really feeling the empowerment deck. Again, in terms of hug decks, I have a video, I think, about hug decks, but this is one of my absolute favorite hug decks. It's probably one of the ones that I reach the most. I really are probably these two. For me, animal energy is very much going to kind of give me that space to support. It's just going to give that. So I tend to go to that a lot, but I also tend to go to this one as well, because the messages do give me the hug, but it also gives me that sense of empowerment, and I like the combination of those two. I do think they named the deck quite well. So let us give a hug for overwhelm to Susie. Susie is feeling a little overwhelmed, right? And could use action. So meeting the oats, I love that. Movement creates the magic. Nothing can hold you back, Susie. So you might be feeling overwhelmed. And this is the interesting thing, right? Because sometimes the way of what we're needing right now is to stop and breathe and just let things slide. And sometimes the way through it is through it. And that's often the case, that sometimes the only way through it is through it, right? We've just got to push forward and understand that you're going to get out the other side. So whatever might be overwhelming you right now, Sue, you will get out the other side, right? There is, and I always say that, like, I feel like we can do, sorry, I'm having, my glasses are all fogged up. Sometimes, and I lost my train of thought, so give me 2 seconds while I clear this so I can see. What was I saying for Sue? To push through to the other side. I guess that's what she needed to hear. And the universe was like, Kelly, you just stop. You're going in the wrong direction. Sometimes the way is to stop, and sometimes it's the way through. And for you, you will get out the other side. Leaning into energy. You know, a lot of people think about Buddhist energy as being escapist, like you're trying to avoid, like avoidance. What I learned from Buddhism isn't about avoiding feelings. feelings and avoiding difficulty, but leaning in. And in that leaning in, oh, I know what I was going to say. My family, or my daughter, my niece, and I talk a lot about that. You know, a difficult situation generally has a finite time. There is only so long that that's going to continue on, and you can handle anything for a certain amount of time. And so kind of figuring out and saying, okay, this is what I have to deal with right now. I'm feeling overwhelmed. It's not going to last forever. I'm going to push through. And so I hope that you get a little extra spark of energy to kind of push you through and get you beyond the overwhelm that you might be feeling right now, Sue. And I agree with Fairy Wren. There is just not enough hugs, for sure. Brianne needs love. I need and would love a hug and sending blessings to you, and we'll light a candle. Awesome. So we are going to give Brianne a hug as well. I know I'm gonna, after this, light some candles as well. I have a little, you know, when I was, my memories of a little Catholic church that my grandmother was right down the street from where I was raised. They used to have, in old churches, they would have, old Catholic churches, they would have these little rooms that you could go into. And they had, the one that I was near me had red candle holders. And so that you could light a candle and send your prayers up. It was just a little separate room. Obviously that's a fire hazard and you don't see it as much anymore. But so I've recreated a space for myself like that, so that I can, when people need hugs, or just need good energy or anything like that, that's where I sort of go to light candles. So I'm going to light them all. I think there's like 6 or 7 of them I have. There's 6 lined up. And I'm just going to light them all for everybody once I'm done here. So let's get a hug for Brianne. Black Jaguar. This is Old Soul. Now, this is a little bit pointy. Sorry, my thing is beeping off here. I talked about this on my Instagram, where whenever Black Panther, Jaguar type energy comes forward, I always think of Mowgli and Bagheera. So it's always this energy that's like, okay, I know I'm going to be pushed a little out of my comfort zone with Black Cat. Big Black Cat energy is always going to push me out of my comfort zone, but say, you know, you've got this, you can figure this out, like go get it done. So it's a hug from you, but also a message that says, you've got this, you can get what needs to be done, and sort of stretch yourself, push yourself a little out of your comfort zone, but you've got this. That's the kind of energy, that's the kind of hug that I see for Brianne. Butterfly magic with hot tea. Hugs, needing a huge hug. Yes, thank you. Okay, so we're going to pull a hug for butterfly magic and hot tea. And again, I can't see the current messages because I am scrolled up to look for hugs. And so I can't see what's coming on. If you're just stumbling on this, we're just giving out hugs. No apologies needed or given. We're just giving hugs. Everybody needs them now and again, and we're just here right now to give a hug to Butterfly Magic with hot tea. I feel like hot tea is a hug in and of itself. Here's snake energy, just to shed and transform. She just a little bit down. I see that she says she did a night shift last night, is tired. It's always a challenge to recover from sleep deprivation. So hot tea, make yourself a cup of hot tea. That is one way that I do certainly hug myself, is making a big steaming cup of hot tea. So I think she already, or he already knows that with that in their title. But the snake card here is just letting you know that, while again I pull a little bit of my Lenormand into snake energy, but it's understanding that things can be difficult, things can be complicated, but you are moving towards shutting one thing off and starting fresh again. Of course, when we're in the midst of shredding, our skin feels pretty vulnerable. We do feel vulnerable, and so trying to maintain and manage stuff like sleep deprivation is something I struggle with, and it's very difficult. But treat yourself well. Understand that you are on a journey of transformation, that you can shift this energy for yourself. And again, make yourself a cup of hot tea, because I can tell you already know that. Chapstick is in need of a hug. You know, I love me some good chapstick, and I am happy to give. I wish you could give. You are, just by saying that you wish you give us one, I do believe you have given us one. So chapstick is getting an animal hug as well. So here is a hug to chapstick. And we're receiving a hug from you as well, because again, right now, right here in our little space in the universe, saying you're giving one is the same as giving. Whoa, jumpy there for chapstick. Let's see what that is. Oh, I love elephant energy. There is this power. See, this is about, love, and this kind of energy where human beings are coming together as human beings and saying, I see you. I know life is crappy sometimes. I know that life is difficult. I know that this in the end isn't going to change anything, but we are here for each other. That to me feels like elephant energy, right? It's about the understanding of community, and coming together is our strength. You, chapstick, are going to be stronger by the energy that you have around you. And right here and right now, you've got a lot of energy around you, a lot of energy going your way. I know everybody who's in this chat right now that I can't see because they're scrolled down is going to send chapstick some of that community strength that you might need right now. And so I hope that you find that, again, even just in this little moment between us. Archer's Soul says, I'm actually crying right now because of a family issue, and just so happened to see you on with this. I do need a hug, please and thank you. I am very happy to give you a hug. I am so sorry that you find yourself in whatever situation that you find yourself in with your family, and I am happy and honored to give you a hug. And I know that there will be other people who probably already sent you some hugs, but if not, we're calling forth somebody who was it? Was it Lady D or somebody was calling forth a band of angels? We're calling forth the internet community angels here to just, everybody light some candles. Even if you just have a kitchen candle, light a kitchen candle. Whatever to you is how you think about sending energy out there. Light a candle for somebody, for all of us. Can you imagine, like, even if we had, there's like 92 people on right now. If 92 people lit a candle and sent a little love out there, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. And it makes a difference in the person lighting the candle, and it makes a difference in the people receiving that energy. So this is for Archers. Oh, I love this. So here we have rebirth. No matter what happens, right? Power and energy and new life comes out of the difficulty. There is energy doesn't dissipate. Energy doesn't leave us. So even no matter what it is that's happening, that energy can just be reborn into something different. And so if it's a difficult situation, it's a difficult situation. Eventually that energy can be turned into something that is healing. So that understanding that it's difficult, it's powerful, it's painful, it's big shifts right now, but that energy can shift, that energy will shift, you will be stronger, that energy can turn to healing and support for you. And I'm so sorry that you're going through whatever it is that you're going through, and this is just a hug from me to you, and I hope that you find a little bit of peace. Inquisitive Tarot says, I got to hug my mom for the first. Oh, that is so amazing. I am so glad to hear that. Ginger Faye would love to have a hug and is also sending hugs to all. So let's pull a hug here for Ginger Faye. Pulling a hug for Ginger Faye. I'm just gonna riffle this up a little bit to shake it up, the energy here. Yeah, feline Fortuna is administrating with butterfly magic that, you know, night shifts and just anything that throws off your sleep is really, really detrimental and really important to stay on top of. It's rough. So this is a hug from Ginger Faye. Or four. We got one from Ginger Faye, but this is for Ginger Faye. Here we have cycles, surrendering to change, understanding that shifts and changes are part of life. I truly do think that we human beings, in some way, we crave change, but at the same time we also crave stability, and we want things to stay still and stay, you know, let us get our bearings. And yet we live in a world in which energy and things are always shifting. We live in a world of shifts, not in static energy. And so we're always kind of feeling the pull of that cycle. And yet sometimes we're like pushing against that, and we're just trying to get our feet underneath us sometimes. And so this surrendering into the changes and letting go of fear and just understanding this is just part of a natural part of life is change, is something that maybe can help you in the moment, Ginger Faye. But just to understand that life is change, and so it's not something to be afraid of, and it's not something to push again, but just to let go into the changes and understanding that you'll find your footing again, and then you'll come back up around again. But that's just part of the cycle of things. So that is a little bit of a hug for Ginger Faye. So I'm going to keep scrolling here. Emery said, I definitely came from elves. You rock on as your dragon self. I know, I'm the stuff of fairy queens. And apparently Emery's is as well. Halima says, I don't know how I came across this, but yes, I really need a hug. So let's get a hug to Halima. Okay, let's see. Oops, I lost it. It's probably going to go down there, and I'm going to have to go back up. Yes, if you're asking, sorry, I am it's scrolled back down to the bottom, so I'm going to have to go up. So I'll take a second to breathe here. I'm going to have to go. I'm gonna make this to at least try to make it to an hour and a half. So I've got to go in about 20 minutes. I do still have work to do. This was totally random. I'm just like, you know what? The world needs a hug right now. We're gonna have a hug fest. Like, that's just what's gonna happen. And you know, just heed the call. But I do have to. So I'm gonna get as many as I can in, and then at the end I'll just pull a hug for everybody that I couldn't get to, or that just might need one and didn't have the chance to ask for one. But I'll just quick, the decks that I've been pulling from, this is called, oh, I can't see the box. The creator's called Jody Bergsma, and it's mystical empowerment cards or something along that line. But if you go on Amazon and just search for a Jody Bergsma Oracle deck, you'll come across this one. I can't remember. And then this is also by Jody Bergsma, and this is the animal spirit of the animals oracle. Same artist did the artwork for these. And then this deck right here is called Spirit Cards Oracle. This one you won't be able to find on Amazon. You'll have to look that up and find his website, the author's website for this, but it's called Spirit Cards Oracle. Those are the 3 decks that I've been using tonight for hugs. So okay, I'm going to try to scroll back up here, and again, I am going to I've got about 15 or so more minutes to go. I'm going to get everybody that I can, and then at the end, when I have to go, I'm just gonna, pull a card for all of us. Okay, I'm going to try to find where I was at. I know I had seen Susie. Um, if you're just coming on, we're just giving hugs unapologetically. I'm not apologizing for it. I'm understanding that it isn't going to fix everything, but I think that people need hugs sometimes, and I'm just here to give people hugs. So I'm scrolling back, and I completely understand that. You know, oh, it won't let me go up any farther. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Well, that stinks. Okay. Let me see. That's Susie. There's Shay. Would like a hug. Okay. I'm gonna start here. Unfortunately, I can't go any higher. I didn't know that it did that. Okay. Well, I'm just going to roll with it, and we're going to make sure if again, if you have asked for a hug but I haven't gotten to you, please just kind of put it in there again for me. It just makes it easier. I didn't think this out. I didn't really plan this out. As I said at the beginning, I've been watching a lot of interviews with people, and I will try to remember to put a link to the YouTube channel that I was watching all of these interviews with people that are drug addicts, that are prostitutes, that are in just really difficult situations. And they are just these kind of honest conversations. And you really can see the depths of despair and horror that human beings can do to each other. But also you can see the depths of strength and the depths of power that the human spirit has, and that sometimes we just need to know that we're not alone, and that we just need a hug. And that is all this is about here. Is I'm not here to fix anything. I'm just here to offer a hug. And so that's what we've been doing. If you're just coming in. So again, it's pushing me. Shay, I lost it, but Shay wanted a hug. Here it is, Shay here. Here's Shay W. So we're giving a hug to Shay. If I haven't got to your hug, please put your name below, and I'll scroll back down because I've lost. It's not letting me go any further back, and so I'm going to start here with Shay because I can see it, and then I'll scroll back down and see who's put that on. And then again, I'll pull a collective hug for all of us. Well, let's take that one for Shay because, hey, why not? Oh, frog. I love frog energy. Now, I know this has it for prosperity, Shay, but you know, we can sometimes ignore the words. I just do whatever I want with animal energy. So for me, frog energy really is about two things. It's about healing, but it's about healing through shedding. So if you think about a frog being born as a tadpole that swims along in the water, I mean, to me, it's just absolutely amazing. And then at a certain point when it's no longer relevant, it sheds its tail, it gets legs and it gains legs, it sheds and it gains what it needs to then be able to adapt. So it's a powerful message about adapting and letting go of what no longer serves us. So there's a bit of a message there for you, Shay W, to let go of what no longer serves you and shift into the energy and the things that you do need, that is going to serve you well as you kind of move forward from this point. So I hope that helps in some way. I'm going to see if I see any hugs needed or requested as I scroll down here. Again, hello. I know I'm not, following the flow of the chat very well. I'm just looking for people requesting hugs. I see Miss Kelly Ann is here. Hello, hello. Congratulations on your book. I see that here. Ashley would love to be at them. Let's pull a hug for Ashley. Here is a hug for Ashley. I think the series that is something about a white underbelly. This is something white underbelly. It's a YouTube channel that it's a photographer who goes to was taking photographs, and he really wanted to, he was like an ad photographer for like big advertising, and he was kind of feeling like this is my contribution to the world, is taking these big fancy photographs to make rich companies make more money, and he wanted to have something else like to do besides that. And he started taking photographs of people. I think I started following some of them that were from the Appalachian Mountains and the people there that we often sort of don't listen to. We don't hear their stories. They aren't given any kind of a voice. And so it's a series. I haven't watched everything on. I've just been on a roll with it. But the series kind of is giving a voice. It's almost like TED Talks for people who would never be invited to go to TED Talks. And so just hearing these stories of people who just have been through so much, like it literally breaks your heart to think of the pain and the suffering that's in the world. But then again, flip side of that is just how incredibly strong is the human spirit. And that's why we're here, just acknowledging that we've all been through very difficult things and that we can all use a hug. So this is for Ashley. A hug for Ashley. And we're not apologizing for hugs tonight. No, we are not. Reconciliation. Remember the source of love. I love this. Reconciliation is a powerful word. And reconciliation for me always starts on the inside. I mean, everything starts on the inside, right? We have to be able to give love to ourselves so that we can give it outwards. We have to have grace for ourselves so that we can give grace outward. We have to have compassion for ourselves so that we can give compassion outwards, right? And so sometimes that spirit of reconciliation, we have to sort of reconcile with ourselves. Except for me, reconciliation is about sort of accepting and having that sort of acceptance for how we got to where we are, understanding that, we didn't, some of the good choices we made, bad choices we made, all the things in between, things that were completely outside of our control, we can't take responsibility. We just reconcile. Here I am. And then we move forward from there. So having that moment to just stop and reconcile within that this is where you're at. This is the space that you're at, being present here. And then you're going to be able to move forward from there, Miss Ashley. But tonight, you don't have to do any work. You just have to take a hug from me and I know a bunch of other people who will give you hugs as well. Let's see. Yes, I'm just pulling cards only for hugs. That's all we are doing. Scrolling through here. I'm going to say your name wrong, but Genie got so mad at frustrated computer issues, threw the laptop off the balcony. Oh no. Well, there's no fixing that, right? Oh dear. Scrolling through here. I know, I hope Funny Kisses fixes her monitor problem. Maybe something you needed to know. Shay, okay, I'm down here to Shay. We got to Brianna. Tech support is good, Claire is saying. So there is some good tech support. I would think that Apple would have good tech support. I'm not entirely sure that that's the case, but we like to believe that, right? Sunny D says they have a grotto near me in the mountains where you can go and light candles. Amazing, Sunny D. I miss it. That's why I've recreated a space for myself. Sorry, I know this is old news. I'm scrolling back through here, right? Okay, let's see. I got Shay. Okay, let's see. So we got Shay. Molly would like to have a hug. Had 2 nightmares last night. I'm so sorry, Molly. I know that nightmares are difficult because they start to get us stressed out. When we're trying to go to, especially when you've had, a couple of them, or you've had a couple of them in a row. And then we start to psych ourselves up and thinking, okay, am I going to have another nightmare tonight? It can be very, very difficult. Here as well. Sometimes it helps me to, I don't know if you do readings for yourself, but maybe pulling a couple cards to see what is the message that you might need to hear. Because sometimes once I get the message, then the cycle stops there as well. I just need to hear something. But right now, again, I'm not going to try to, I'm a fixer, Molly. But I'm not here to fix, I'm just here to hug. So let's pull a hug for Miss Molly. And I'm sorry, Miss Molly, because all I'm hearing in my head is good golly, Miss Molly, because that is the way that my brain works. Let's pull a hug for Molly. Ooh, lion spirit. So that's powerful, like that stepping forward with confidence, you know, setting your intentions as you go into going to go to sleep. Visualizing lion energy walking beside you in that confidence that there's a message, right? Nightmares and dreams and things like that. We're trying to sort things out. Your brain is trying to work through something, trying to process through something, and it can be showing the strength of the human mind that even while we're sleeping, our brains are trying to work things out. So having that sense of confidence and that sense of power, regard not letting the circumstances of the nightmares take away from your power, but understand that it is part of your power. I cannot speak. I've been talking so fast because I'm trying to get as many in as I can in the time that I have. That hopefully that says something for you, Miss Molly. But either way, we're sending hugs to you, and I know I won't be the only person in the chat sending energy your way. Taking a drink. Oh, good, Anna. I'm so glad you got your hug. Elements is giving hugs out. Yeah, lots of people giving hugs out. Yeah, these are we're not really asking any questions tonight. We're just sending hugs out. Hopefully you got the decks. I'll try to remember to list them in below, but they are Spirit of the Animals Oracle by Jody Bergsma, Spirit Cards Oracle. This is not a mass market deck. You'll have to find his website. And another Jody Bergsma, I don't know if anybody's ever figured out the name of it, but it's something in magical empowerment deck by Jody Bergsma. I will try to, when I stop the chat, put links to them in the description box when I am done. Oh, okay. And it just flipped to the bottom. So I probably, yeah, we're going to do a big one. Okay, Halima, I saw your name and then we lost it. So let's pull a hug for Halima, and then I'm going to pull a hug for everybody. I'm so sorry. We've been at about an hour and a half. I do still have work to do. I just, sometimes, hearkening back to my religious past, sometimes the spirit just calls, right? For me, it's generally my ancestors calling, but sometimes the spirit just called, and the spirit was just like, Kelly, like I was just feeling it. I was feeling, how you just, any of you who grew up with maybe sort of a fundamental or some of those feeling of the spirit kind of religious context, that you sometimes just feel the spirit. We just need to give each other some hugs tonight, and we're just going to do it. And so that there wasn't any planning here. At all, and again, I still do have to work, but I wanted to just stop and give some hugs, and again, I've gotten some amazing hugs, so I appreciate it. So I'm gonna I'm gonna go back to this one I started with, because I feel like this has done an amazing job because I had seen oh, I'm so sorry. I keep losing it. I think it's Halim. If I have your name, Halima, I believe. Yes. And I had seen it, and then I think the whole the chat flipped up on me. So I'm going to pull a card for Halima, and then I'm going to pull sort of a message for all of us. Just a collective hug for everybody before I do have to. Whew, hello. Oh, we're just going to go with the jumpers tonight. Here we have the strength card for Halima. I love this because it's polar bear energy. I don't always pay attention. I don't generally excuse me, like cards with words on it. But sometimes what I found with oracle cards with words, I don't necessarily pay attention to the words, but I allow that a word might pop out in a particular reading. And of course, this even has words with different text on it, so that courage just pops forward, right? This is a card of strength. You have courage, Halima. You can endure. Find your center and spiral into your power is the message here. We very often do not give ourselves credit for how much strength we really have. And that was the whole point of coming on here, was me seeing, you know, interview after interview, seeing people who by all accounts should be shattered, and by all accounts probably are shattered. These are not, the interviews were not of people who had things put back together. These were shattered people in all intents and purposes, but still had immense strength. We do not give ourselves credit for how much strength we have in the human spirit. And this is a call to you, Halima, to be reminded of how much strength you really do have, and to send a hug your way. So let us pull a collective. We'll just pull one from each. I'm going to zoom out a little bit here. Let's just pull one from each as a collective hug. And again, I'm so sorry if I missed anybody's hugs. I do very much apologize. I have to kind of I do have to go back to work, so to speak. But I'm going to pull this we're just going to pull one card from each of the decks we've been using and kind of do a group collective hug. I encourage everybody who's on here to, when we turn off the camera and we end this, go just grab a candle. It can be a tea light. It can be an emergency candle. I know a lot of us are, like myself, are in the midst of a blizzard. Grab a emergency light candle. Don't burn it too long. Don't waste it if you're going to need it. Grab a leftover Christmas candle, or I got a Halloween candle over there. Grab a candle and light it. And kind of just send out a collective hug to everybody, and I'm gonna enjoinder my ancestors and animal energy to go out and find somebody who needs it, and just give them a little extra boost of power right now, because we need it tonight apparently. And so I'm just going to pull one from each of these, and this is just a big old collective group hug. Group hugs all around. And as to the why, if that why is for me, the why is because. The answer to the why is because we can. Because we can invoke kindness, because we can invoke compassion, because we can invoke love, because we can invoke strength for each other, because we can ask for help now and again, because we are the stuff of fairy queens, as I tell my daughter and my niece, and we can. So that is the why. Polar bear, the reconciliation card coming in. Remember the source of love. A loving action is all you need to begin the process, which is exactly what we're doing, right? This is exactly what we're doing, is taking an action out of love. And we're not talking about the love of French fries or the love of tacos or the love of a particular television show, but we're really talking about love. Love that's at the core, love that connects everything. I truly believe that underneath our feet is a web that connects all of us. It's why readings work in my particular personal belief world. We are all interconnected, and by taking a single action to say, I hear you and I'm sending you a hug, we can make a difference, and we can reconcile between all of us. And I think that is an empowering step to take for the person giving that love and taking that action, as well as for the person that's receiving it. So yeah, let's pull one last one here. We'll come back to the polar bear. I love that the mystic is here, right? It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't. Oh, Black Panther! I'm telling you, Black Panther is strong, strong. This is my Bagheera. We'll zoom in a little bit so we can see, hopefully, so you guys can see these a little bit better. Any black cat is my Bagheera. I wrote about this on Instagram. It's my Bagheera card. It's the kind that shoves me out and says, do it. You've got this. You can do this. I'm here and I'm supporting you. I'm sending out the energy. I'm sending this stuff out. I'm going to support you in what you're doing, but you've got this. You can stretch beyond what you think you're capable of, and you can do this. So it's that grandmother energy that shoves you out of the tree and says, look, go sort this out. I'm here. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to make sure nothing comes out and eats you. I'm around here, but I'm going to let you do the work because you're capable of doing it. This has nothing to do with what this card says. It's my own my own relationship with Black Panthers and black cards. So big black cats in decks. So think about Bagheera from Mowgli shoving you out of a tree and saying, you've got this. I'm here. I'm going to support you. I've got your back, but you've got this as well. So we have that. Somebody pointed this out, and I'm so sorry because I was on a roll. I'm on a roll tonight. I'm talking fast and throwing it out there, but somebody said that there are hugs in these cards. So if you look right in the center one, there's actually somebody, this fairy mother giving a hug to the fairy child. And again, we talked about the reconciliation, understand the source of love, and that a loving action is all that we need, right? So that we're putting that out there. And we will most definitely include Brienne's son, and who needs a hug as well, and include him in any candle lighting that you're going to do. But I love that Bear showed up here again. I've already babbled about Bear, and for me, it doesn't matter what kind of bear it is. Bear is very protective energy. It's very boundary making energy. It's very empowering kind of energy for me. And I love that it's a card of the mystic, because truthfully, obviously, I don't believe that physically anything that I can do to pull some cards for you right here and now is going to change whatever is at the core of what's happening in a person's life. But because we understand them in a mystic sense instead of a head sense, I do believe in magic. I do, right? From Tinkerbell. Let's clap and keep the fairies alive. But I do believe in the power of being seen and seeing people and sending that out and saying, look, whatever's going on right now, I'm here. I see you. Here's a hug. I do think it makes a difference. Having kindness and having compassion and giving that out makes a difference. And so hopefully all of you got a little bit of love, a little bit of a hug, even if it wasn't a specific card for you, that you felt a little bit of love, you felt a little bit of support. I'm going to be lighting all my candles that I've got. I'm going to light it all up for all of us. If you've got a candle you want to light it up. If you've got ancestors you want to, or guides or guardians or anything that you want to send out onto again, for me, cold and blustery night, to lend a little energy and support to somebody who needs it, do so. Do so. Let's light up the night and just send a little kindness to each other. So thank you all for bearing with me for a little bit of just randomness here. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of the hugs that I got. I appreciate seeing all of the support that everybody was giving to each other in the chat, and so sending out other people's ways that needed it. I appreciate all of you doing so, and I'll see you guys all the next time, I guess, that we need a random hug. We'll be there because we are unapologetic huggers tonight. Okay, goodbye everybody. I am sending you so much